Here I will show you how OpenAI versus XAI is no longer just a rivalry. It's a full-blown war for the future of artificial general intelligence. OpenAI is becoming a for-profit gorgon, while Musk's XAI is merging with SpaceX infrastructure to scale faster. Back in 2015, Elon Musk and Sam Altman were the tech world's ultimate power couple. They co-founded OpenAI as a non-profit sanctuary, a digital Eden where AI would be built for the people, not the corporate overlords. They bonded over the terrifying idea that if AI wasn't kept on a leash, it might eventually decide humans make better paperweights than neighbors. Musk even cut the biggest checks, acting as the project's billionaire benefactor. But by 2018, the honeymoon was over. Musk looked at OpenAI and saw it falling behind Google. He essentially tried to grab the steering wheel. When Altman and the board told him to stay in the passenger seat, things got messy. Musk suggested merging OpenAI with Tesla to use it as a corporate cash cow, but the board swiped left on that too. Musk finally rage quit the board in February 2018, citing conflicts of interest, while conveniently taking his promised billion-dollar dowry with him. Since then, the transformation has been jarring. Under Altman, OpenAI morphed into what critics call a for-profit gorgon. To feed the beast's hunger for computing power, Altman hopped into bed with Microsoft, turning the open in OpenAI into a bit of a punchline. Musk now mocks it as closed AI, claiming it's become a de facto Microsoft subsidiary, one that cares more about quarterly earnings than the fate of the species. Meanwhile, Musk's XAI is pushing ahead with Grok, leveraging X's data and SpaceX's raw power, scaling at a pace that rivals even the biggest tech giants. By March 2024, the drama hit the courtroom. Musk filed a lawsuit accusing OpenAI of betraying its soul, while Altman brushed it off as nothing more than a bitter ex with a personal vendetta. By now, if you still don't know Sam Altman and his OpenAI, you've seen the opening shots of the war for artificial general intelligence. In early 2026, the industry hit a massive ethical wall. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei effectively ghosted the Pentagon, rejecting a major contract over concerns that his AI, Claude, would be used for autonomous weapons and mass surveillance. The government didn't take the rejection well. President Trump labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk, essentially banning their tech from federal use. But while Anthropic was walking out the door, Sam Altman was walking in. Just hours after the Anthropic ban, OpenAI signed a deal to deploy its models on the military's classified networks. Altman claimed he secured technical safeguards, but the public wasn't buying the trust us vibe. The backlash was instant and brutal. OpenAI reportedly bled 1.5 million subscribers in just the first 48 hours. As the boycott trended, some reports suggested that number snowballed toward 4 million users as people decided they didn't want their monthly $20 funding what they called a war machine. It's May 2026, and we are witnessing the ultimate clash of the titans. Both OpenAI and SpaceX are sprinting toward an IPO. But don't be fooled, they aren't running the same race. Sam Altman is pushing for an OpenAI IPO as early as Q4 2026. On paper, it's about massive capital requirements. The polite way of saying they're burning through cash, faster than a Starship re-entry. They need billions for R&D and computing power. That private venture capital just can't stomach anymore. They're positioning themselves as a public benefit corporation, much like early Amazon, sacrificing profits today to own the AGI of tomorrow. But if you read between the lines, it smells like a giant exit ramp. The elite investors, Microsoft, SoftBank, the Silicon Valley inner circle, are itching to cash out. They're setting the stage for retail investors like you and me to jump in and fuel the furnace. They call it sharing the upside, but it looks more like passing the check. Are you jumping in? Personally, I'm swiping left. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is planning his own 2026 blockbuster. But his SpaceX IPO isn't just a fundraise, it's a galactic consolidation. By merging XAI and X into SpaceX, he's created a $2 trillion astro AI empire. The goals here feel like something out of a sci-fi novel. He's targeting $75 billion to build orbital data centers, a million-satellite constellation that uses the cold vacuum of space for cooling and pure solar energy for power. It's a way to bypass Earth's energy limits and power Grok from the heavens. Yes, some of the cash will mop up the old Twitter debt. And sure, he's arm-twisting bankers into Grok subscriptions, but the endgame is still the multi-planetary dream. Starship, moon bases, and a city on Mars. One side feels like a desperate grab for liquidity to keep a war machine running. The other feels like a fever dream of a genius, trying to drag humanity into the future. You might say I'm blinded by the Musk glare, but I'd rather fund a trip to Mars than a surveillance engine for the state. I'm staying with SpaceX. How about you? Please leave a comment below.